What will you never tolerate? Overcrowded stores. It makes me crazy and deeply uncomfortable. I prefer to get stuff done as early as possible. Being called a liar. It's got me into trouble with managers a few times. One-uppers. You share some great news? They have better news. You share some bad news? No, their life is far worse, they deserve your pity. Willful ignorance. People who refuse to learn, acknowledge or accept something to avoid having to change their worldview. Bonus answer: people who try to disprove your argument by forcing you into a hypothetical question predicated upon you being wrong, e.g. Would you still say that red is better than blue if blue could cure? No, but blue can't cure, your point is moot. Forcing me to agree with you in a manufactured case does not make your point in the real world. Being accused of something that I did not do. The most trivial of wrongful accusations gets my blood boil. People who make fun of other people for things they know they are insecure about. Passive-aggressive people, unless it's a joke. Every passive-aggressive person I have ever met and tried to tolerate for as long as I could, turned out to be complete garbage. Every single time. I'm not tolerating that anymore. If you want to be cool with me, be honest with me. Slow, fast checkout. People who think that they are masterminds but in reality they are stupid as FCK. People clicking their fingers at me to do something. Chances are if you do, I won't end up doing it. Someone who is condescending. Arrogant, self-entitled people who think they are the and everyone should see them as better. Not even trying to improve something that could trivially be improved. If something is, and you know how to fix it, fix it. I absolutely hate it when people point it out when people are embarrassed or blushing and say, look, they're going red, they're getting embarrassed. Why would you do that? It's just, what are you getting out of commenting on people being embarrassed? Texting while driving. Worse is when people talk about it and say something like, we all do it. No, shithead. We don't. Lots of us are responsible and stay focused on the road. Those that are far too lazy to use their indicators, it is the epitome of laziness. People who play music loudly in public places. Cheating at board games. It's not a big deal comparing it to some of these things. Damn though, it's so annoying. When someone doesn't close my room door after entering. People asking me a question, then not listening to my answer. What do you wanna eat? I could go for some Burger King. Nah, we're going with pizza instead. Why ask if you don't give a? People that don't put shopping carts away. People not flushing in public restrooms. I've had enough of their. How YouTube puts 2 ads which are both either 5 seconds long or unskippable. Littering. There is no reason to do it. Influencers online promoting diets, skinny teas, and other diet Y sort of items, and other unhealthy behaviors onto their young, impressionable fanbase. No, no, no. I am 100% for healthy, balanced lifestyles and eating in a nutritious way. But laxative, caffeine teas and 1,000-calorie plans are never appropriate to be promoting to 14-year-olds. Never, ever. That is damaging AF, especially for kids whose bodies are still growing, developing. A. People who drive slowly in the fast lane, or B. Those who don't pull over in mountain roads when there is a trail of cars behind them. Edit, C. Tailgaters. Tailgaters, man. Child abuse. Someone yelling at me for zero justification. I up badly and boss had a bad day and yells at me. Understandable. Drill sergeant yells at me for up, understandable. My friend I used to enjoy being around before he screamed his head off at me over a video game. Off. This comment below mine. People being rude to customer service. People who cancel plans last minute, or during the time we had planned. It's amazing how many responsible adults do this. Edit, with exceptions of course. If you have mental, physical health issues or a job that causes last-minute flaking, then I can tolerate it. It still helps if you give a warning ahead of time though. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more similar content. Molesters. Cruelty to animals. Drunk driving. People who disrespect basic common courtesy. Example, the teenager who spat in a public jacuzzi I was in the other day. I gave him a decent reminder not to do it again. Gross. My first award. Thanks anonymous Redditor. Pooping in the shower. People who are involved in Ponzi scams. If you want to got hang out, I'm cool. But if you try to hang out to get me involved in your scheme, understand I will cut you out of my life. Entitled people. Every time I read a story from that sub, the first thing I think is, why did you even stay in that situation? Tell them to off and walk away. I've done it before, mainly to my dad's wife, not my mom. Scientology. You're fake that allows you to avoid taxes, intimidate and kidnap people, disappear people and con millions upon millions of dollars out of those searching for a sense of community. Hypocrisy. A narcissist. Never again. I will immediately find a way to remove them from my life. Being yelled at. I got enough of that all throughout childhood. I promised myself I would never let anyone yell at me again. Lactose. Celebrity worship. Abuse of anyone or any other living thing in my presence. I don't care if I know you or not. If I see any blatant abuse, I will intervene. Chewing loudly. I try to ignore it and remind myself how petty I'm being, but it's just involuntarily rage-inducing. I don't usually say anything, but I put earbuds in or leave the area. I can't tolerate someone being a know-it-all, or constantly one-upping everyone. Being spoken over when I'm talking. Less than a href equals https://youtube. BQJ882QYZRM greater than they're less than, a greater than are only two things I can't stand in this world, people who are intolerant of other people's cultures, and the Dutch. Intolerance, good old Popper paradox. Office meetings. Infidelity. A furry with a armband. People who are rude to service staff. People who abuse animals. People who abuse children. People who spoil movies. Someone making fun of my dad being deaf. I just see red and start swinging, I can't help it. It hasn't happened in more than a decade, thankfully, but I'm pretty sure my reaction would still be the same. Maybe even worse TBH, since you got to be a special kind of to make fun of someone's disability after you reach a certain age. Along with the normal moral stuff and whatnot, I really don't understand people who argue a lot. It doesn't take much to realize that the vast majority of arguments that I hear from these people are usually not important at all, and it just makes me mad to hear two people start going at it for no reason or gain. People who on toilet seats in men's restrooms. If we all raised the toilet seats to in men's restrooms, life would be so much better. Who's with me? Non-consensual acts, OFC, but also including partners lying about contraception or being STD-free. People who post others' content and or pretend to be someone else on Reddit. Excusing people for man, woman, or non-binary, nobody can anyone else. Period. Liars. People who idolize relationships. Lies about me. I've learned to it up and take responsibility for any behavior I exhibit. It's not easy to do, so I just try to not do things. Therefore I will not tolerate anyone saying I did something I didn't do. I'm a terrible liar anyway. I got that nervous smile thing, grimacing face. People editing their gilded comments to thank a kind stranger. A Reddit bot sends you a message which allows you to thank the person who gilded your comment, anonymous or not. Drivers not putting on their car lights on when it's getting quite dark. Maybe they can see, but what about the other drivers and pedestrians who are blind as a bat and fail to notice a vehicle with tinted windows, whizzing past? I get so angry my eyes boiling. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel to see more similar content.